Commencement is a formal academic ceremony. Candidates and guests are asked to please show proper respect for both the ceremony and other guests and candidates by turning off all electronic devices and remaining quiet and dignified during the ceremony. Brief expressions of joy are appropriate after the conferring of degrees and during the presentation of diplomas when your graduate's name is read. The assembly is asked to stand while the invocation is pronounced by Father Gerald Kavanaugh of the Society of Jesus. Please remain standing after the invocation and join UDM graduate student Ms. Shima Palmer in singing the Canadian and American National Anthem. The words can be found on the inside back cover of your program.
Let's have a moment of silence for our prayer. Loving God, thank you for these enriching years. Thank you for the friends we have made and for what we have learned and accomplished. Thank you, Lord, for our family and friends who love us and support us as we wrote our exams, our papers, our projects, our reports. Lord, let us always remember that we do this work for your glory. We ask for nothing more than the privilege of being your servant. Use us as your instrument. Lord, help me to realize the special obligations that I now possess with this new degree. Give me the insight and generosity that I may make this a better world for all. Give me wisdom that I show love for all people. Inspire me with courage to use my talents, knowledge, and understanding, not merely for myself, but also for others. I therefore pledge to work to bring opportunity, hope, and happiness to all people, especially the poor, vulnerable, and disadvantaged. As our new Pope Francis put it, to protect creation, to protect every woman and man, to look upon them with tenderness and love, is to open up a horizon of hope. Lord, although the market will determine our salaries, we know it is you who determine our true value, the value of our lives. We humbly thank you. Keep us in your love until that day when all women and men share life together in peace and justice. Amen.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command.
Everyone, please be seated. It is now my privilege to present to you the President of the University of Detroit Mercy, Dr. Antoine M. Garibaldi.
Thank you, Dean Finkenbein. Sister Rosita Schiller, Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees, Sister Linda Worthman, a member of the Board of Trustees, Mrs. Jane K. Nugent, today's honoree and speaker, University of Detroit Mercy faculty, staff, and students, and parents of the 2013 graduating class. Welcome to University of Detroit Mercy's 2013 commencement ceremony. Today is an important day in the lives of our graduates. You have worked hard over the last few years, but you know that your success is possible primarily because of the support of your families. Like you, your parents, spouses, children, and even siblings have made sacrifices for you to complete your education. And it is because of that collective involvement in your education that this ceremony is as important of an occasion for them as it is for you. And it is a special joy for all of the mothers in the audience. So let me extend an early Happy Mother's Day to you. This afternoon, 1,238 undergraduate and graduate students are being honored as they complete their numerous academic programs. 724 are receiving a bachelor's degree, 502 are receiving a master's or specialist degree, and 12 are receiving doctoral degrees. The majority of our graduates are from the United States, but we also have graduates whose homelands are near and far away in 6 other countries: Canada, China, Costa Rica, Italy, Kenya, and Libya. Their presence and involvement on this campus have added to the global experience of our entire university community, and we wish them well as they take the mission and spirit of UDM back to their home countries. Our 2013 graduates are also distinguished by their various ranges in age and experience. For example, nearly 2/3, 477 of our 724 baccalaureate graduates are 25 years or older, or younger, I should say, with 22 being the most common age of 185 of this 25 and under group. The baccalaureate graduates also include the youngest, who is 20 years old, as well as a maturing but still youthful 63-year-old. 60%, or 301 of our 502 master's and specialist graduates, are also under the age of 30, including 63 graduates who are 24 years old. And 35, or 7% of our master's and specialist graduates, are 50 years old and older, including a lifelong learner who is just 71 years old. And the ages of our 12 doctoral graduates range between 28 and 54, and 9 of these doctoral graduates are in engineering and clinical psychology, while the other 3 will receive the university's first ever Doctor of Nursing practice degrees. Firsts are not uncommon at University of Detroit Mercy, even 136 years after its founding in 1877 as University of Detroit, and 72 years after the founding of Mercy College in 1941. But our united mission and traditions as a Jesuit and Mercy University are still the same, namely to provide graduates with an excellent student-centered educational experience so that they will be prepared to assume positions of leadership in their professions and in their communities. Today's honoree, Mrs. Jane K. Nugent, is one of our distinguished alumni who has used the education she received here to open doors for others and to be a leader in many areas. Like many of her classmates, she was the first in our family and one of a small number of women to be able to attend college in the 1940s. And as you will hear when Provost Sarkowski reads her honorary degree citation, she was not only the first female senior administrator at Detroit Edison, but she was the only woman vice president at her company during her entire career. She has had a remarkable career in life, and she is still very active in the community. I expect that many of you will also be first in your respective professions, or perhaps the developers of cures for rare diseases, or innovative equipment to assist individuals who are physically impaired. The world awaits your knowledge. And when you achieve those remarkable firsts, remember and use the foundation you received at University of Detroit Mercy in the humanities, the social and physical sciences, mathematics, philosophy, ethics, theology, and other core courses that you took. The courses that you have taken at the undergraduate and graduate levels have prepared you to be a well-rounded individual, which will make you a desired leader in your profession and also in your communities. On occasions like these, it is always important to thank those who helped to make your day of celebration possible. At the top of the list, of course, are your parents, spouses, siblings, and other relatives, followed by close friends and your mentors. You know how strongly they have supported you as you balance your class schedules, your co-ops and internships, your clinical placements, your exams, your daytime and nighttime jobs, and also your family obligations. And in many cases, they have provided you with important financial support while making extraordinary sacrifices themselves so that you could concentrate on your studies. Your families, friends, and mentors have also provided you with the motivation and inspiration to succeed. And often when you did not even know it, they were saying special prayers for you so that you would have the strength and perseverance to finish your degree. That day you have finally dreamed about has finally arrived. So please make sure to thank them for everything they've done for you. Finally, I've saved special mention of a recent notable first that means a lot to the Jesuits and Sisters of Mercy, many of our alumni, and hopefully you as well. And that is the election of Pope Francis as the first Jesuit to serve as the Bishop of Rome. In barely 2 months, he has become a worldwide figure, but he has been recognized mostly for his simplicity, the casual way in which he connects with people, and also, to the delight of many, his short and occasionally unscripted homilies. One of those sermons occurred on Holy Thursday, on March 28th of this year, at the Mass of the Lord's Supper, just before he washed the feet of incarcerated youth in Rome. And here is what Pope Francis said: "Help one another. This is what Jesus teaches us. This is what I do, and I do it with my heart." Let me say that again. Help one another. This is what Jesus teaches us. This is what I do, and I do it with my heart. 21 powerful words in 4 pithy sentences that remind us of the mercy and Jesuit commitment to service and social justice. And so I urge you to be generous with your talents, your intellect, and your skills, and continue to show your compassion and concern for others as you have done so well over the last few years here as a student. Your efforts will make a significant difference in the lives of many, as well as in the community, the region, and also the nation. So congratulations, graduates. I wish you much success, and may God's blessings be always with you and your families. Congratulations.
The candidate for honorary degree will be presented by the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Pamela Zarkowski, and Sister M. Rosita Schiller of the Sisters of Mercy and Vice Chair of the University's Board of Trustees.
Will Mrs. Jane K. Nugent please come forward? Jane K. Nugent, former Vice President of Administration, Detroit Edison Company. Throughout a distinguished career and life, Jane K. Nugent has been known as the consummate business executive, an untiring community activist, and a role model for women professionals. And Mrs. Nugent not only achieved, but also excelled in the business world when only a few women held senior-level administrative positions in corporations. As a Detroit Edison employee for more than 40 years, Jane K. Nugent began as a file audit clerk, but she quickly realized the benefits of working in human resources. Recognizing the value of education, she pursued academic degrees as she worked, earning a Bachelor of Science degree in Industrial Management from the then University of Detroit, a Master of Arts degree in Personnel Psychology from Wayne State University, and a Master of Business Administration from the University of Michigan. Over the years, her talents and skills led to increasingly more demanding positions as she rose through the ranks of Detroit Edison. She retired from the company as Vice President of Administration and had the distinction of being the only female Vice President during her entire tenure at Detroit Edison. In addition to her professional accomplishments, Mrs. Nugent has generously donated her time, talent, and energy to community service. Her concern for women's and children issues, as well as education and health care, has generated leadership roles on behalf of numerous organizations, including the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan, St. John Hospital and Medical Center Foundation, University of Detroit Mercy College of Business Administration, and the Children's Home of Detroit. Respected by those who knew her as an astute businesswoman, a charismatic leader, and a caring individual, Mrs. Nugent has been the recipient of dozens of awards and accolades, including being inducted into the Michigan's Women Hall of Fame, honored as one of the top 10 working women in Detroit, and named the university's Alumnus of the Year. In recognition of her efforts to pave the way for career women and her numerous contributions to the business, civic, and educational communities, the University of Detroit Mercy is honored to present Jane K. Nugent the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much, all of you here, all of you there. I consider it truly an honor to be recognized by the University of Detroit Mercy. It's an institution that I think so highly of and am so grateful to for the education and experience that prepared me both for a career and for life. My sincere appreciation to all of those who made it possible for me to be here today. But today is not about me. Today is about you. It's about the graduates of 2013. And I would add my congratulations to you and also to your family, to the faculty, and all those who have played a part in your academic success. Now, you might have guessed that it's been quite a few years since I was where you are now. But I remember vividly what my thoughts were at that time. They were, I hope he doesn't talk too long because I have a lot of celebrating to do. So with that in mind, I will share a few thoughts of you to consider as you enter a new world. You've successfully completed an important phase of your life, and that's a significant achievement. You made a wise decision to select UDM as your college and soon to be alma mater.
Now you'll find that there are many more decisions to be made, decisions that will determine your future. Among them is the role that you will play in a changing society, decisions that will impact not only you, but your community, our country, and literally the whole world. Truly, the future is in your hands. Now that's a big order, and I wish I could give you an exact formula for success. But actually, there is no exact formula. However, I can tell you about some observations that I have made through the years of successful people in their careers and in their public and personal lives. Perhaps most important is that they do more than is expected of them. They never stop learning, and they're involved in matters that contribute to the betterment of society. In other words, they care about others and give of themselves to make for a better world. And to make it more personal, I'd like to add that you are successful if you think deeply and feel strongly about things that are important. You're successful if you share your strengths and talents with others. You're successful if you never give up and never stop going after your dreams. Truly, the possibility of a better world is in your hands. And keep in mind, and have it perhaps as your mantra, if it's to be, it's up to me. And I'm confident that in future years, you, the members of the class of 2013, will be able to say, we did it. The world is a better place than when we graduated. Now, I'm sure you'll say that in an alum reunion, and you'll all agree to it. Again, congratulations and best wishes for your future. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to call to the platform the valedictorian of the class of 2013, Ms. Caitlin Rose Avery from the College of Business Administration and the Honors Program.
Family, friends, faculty, and guests, thank you so much for joining us today as we celebrate our graduation from the University of Detroit Mercy. It is an incredible honor to be speaking this afternoon on behalf of the graduating class of 2013. I cannot begin to describe how excited and proud I am to soon be a graduate of UDM, and I'm sure all of you are feeling the exact same way. This past summer, I interned at Chrysler, and we had the rare opportunity to listen to CEO Sergio Marchioni speak to all of the interns. He spoke for a while and answered a number of questions, but looking back, the main thing I remember from that entire speech is this: be a traveler, not a tourist. I do not remember the person he was quoting or even the other details of his speech, but I remember thinking that that was one of the truest and most inspiring things I had ever heard. Now, it is one thing to understand the meaning of this message in its most literal sense, of actually traveling to other places and experiencing the culture as a traveler does, versus just passing through like the tourist. But the reason I was so drawn to this particular message was because it applies to life in general, all aspects, all stages, for all people. This message also connects very closely to an important lesson I have learned here at UDM, and that is the value of being present. I think this is a challenge that all of us face every single day, probably without even realizing it. Being present is something that I had never even thought about. And it wasn't until I actually heard this discussed in one of my Catholic Studies courses that I began to realize its importance and also how absent it was from my own life. Be present may just seem like another way to say live for the moment, or any number of similar phrases. But it is very different, and I think it's much more meaningful. Consequently, it is probably one of the most necessary and yet one of the hardest things to implement in our daily lives. Being present requires attention and awareness. It requires a sacrifice on our part to give of ourselves. In order to be present, we should not simply look for those things that will satisfy our own wants, but look for and pay attention to the opportunities in which we can give of our hearts, minds, and attention to others and to what we are being called to do. I am sure we have all been asked many times over the past few months about our plans after graduation, which can either be exciting or exhausting and stressful, especially if we do not feel like we have a sufficient answer. Now, we certainly should not dismiss the value of looking ahead and setting goals, for those are absolutely crucial in accomplishing anything. However, it seems that the constant "what do I need to do next" mindset that we often find ourselves in can easily detract from the appreciation and commitment to now, to the things that are taking place every single day. The distractions and obligations that often consume our thoughts and energy can be so overwhelming that we in fact become disconnected from what is going on around us. I think many times we all feel as though we are not doing the right things. We feel pressure from many different angles that instills worry and anxiety in us about whether or not we have made the right decisions or whether or not we have done enough. Well, today, this is absolutely enough. Regardless of whether we are starting a dream job, enrolling in graduate school, or have no idea what the next step is, let us try to harness any uncertainty or worry we might be feeling and remember that today what really matters is that we have accomplished something great. Today, let us be present to what is taking place, to the people who love us, and to the accomplishments that we have achieved. Let us be attentive to and appreciative of every single congratulations that we hear, no matter how repetitive it may seem, because today is certainly a day worth celebrating. Regardless of the awards, honors, cords, or any other special recognitions, today represents an incredible achievement for each one of us. I hope that we all leave the University of Detroit Mercy with a desire to experience, a desire to learn, and a desire to continue to serve and give of ourselves. Whether we stay in the city or travel halfway around the world, let us remember that we all have a unique mission. UDM has made its own mission its core foundation, its most basic and unwavering principle. Let us too make our own mission the foundation upon which we make decisions and use it to guide our lives. Through its commitment to developing the entire individual, I think that UDM has given us the foundation to be the travelers. So let us do our very best to be those travelers and not the tourists, to be the ones who truly experience and not the ones who simply go through the motions. Let us be the ones who look ahead and set goals while acknowledging and paying attention to what is going on right now. Let us give our best effort to be present, be aware, and open our minds and hearts to the way God is working in our lives. If we can be present, truly present, not just today, but at every point in our lives, we can appreciate every single seemingly mundane moment, along with every exciting and life-changing moment, and recognize each and every one of those as a gift. Congratulations, class of 2013.
These candidates will be presented by the Dean, Dr. Gary Kulik.
President Garibaldi, on behalf of the College of Engineering and Science, I present these candidates for the degree of Master of Science, Master of Civil and Environmental Engineering, Master of Electrical and Computer Engineering, Master of Mechanical Engineering, Master of Engineering Management, Master of Science in Product Development, Master of Science in Software Engineering, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science Honors Program, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Bachelor of Civil Engineering, Bachelor of Electrical Engineering, Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering, and recommend that such degree be conferred upon them.
Will the candidates from the College of Engineering and Science please be seated? Administration will please rise. These candidates will be presented by the Dean, Dr. Joseph Eisenhower.
President Garibaldi, on behalf of the College of Business Administration, I present these candidates for the degrees of Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Business Turnaround Management, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration Honors Program, and Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, and recommend that such degrees be conferred upon them.
Will the candidates from the College of Business Administration please be seated? Graduation occurs. To honor and respect this important moment, I ask all of the candidates to please rise and remain quiet. I also request the audience to remain silent while the President of the University confers the degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degree for which you have been recommended, and now pronounce you sons and daughters of University of Detroit Mercy forever. Congratulations.
As a sign, if I could have silence, please. This is a very important moment. As a sign of the granting of your degree, please move your tassel from the right to the left side of your cap. Expressions of joy are now appropriate. The graduates will please be seated, and the platform party, sponsoring institution representatives, Board of Trustees, administration, and faculty of the university, please rise, face the graduates, and join in a round of applause to congratulate the class of 2013. The graduates of the various schools and colleges of the university will now proceed to the platform as called to receive their diplomas from the President of the University of Detroit Mercy, Dr. Antoine Garibaldi.
Family and friends are requested not to prolong their spontaneous expression of joy and support in order that the candidate's name might be heard.
Melissa Lynn Zutek, summa cum laude. Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. Adam Ross Meldrum. Jacob Owens Morse. Andrew J. Nalay.
Ms. Jennifer Snyder, class of 1994, 1996, and 2000, will now give remarks on behalf of the UDM Alumni Association.
Good afternoon. As a 1994, 1996, and 2000 graduate of the University of Detroit and incoming president of the College of Business Alumni Board, it is with great honor to congratulate you on becoming alumni of the University of Detroit Mercy and to the Alumni Association. Today, you join thousands of university ambassadors as you begin your chapter on your journey to do great things.
You know, it's really hard to believe that I've been part of this university for the past 24 years. It's really a long time. And I've gained a ton of experience and done many different things on this campus. The university has really been a significant part of many milestones in my life. I started off here as a freshman at the University of Detroit, finished 3 degrees, I commuted to campus, I lived on campus, I lived off campus, I worked in Quad Commons sorting mail, met my husband in Professor Nielsen's accounting class, had my wedding ceremony conducted by the late Father George Lundy, former university provost, and Father Terry Curry, School of Architecture. I renewed my wedding vows in 2003 during homecoming on this very court, and I attended the Dick Vitale floor unveiling. I've spoken to student ambassadors, held leadership positions at the College of Business Alumni Association. Take a moment and look around Callahan Hall today. You are surrounded by the very people that will go out and be tomorrow's leaders in the city of Detroit, the state of Michigan, our country, and in our world. You will be teachers, scientists, CEOs, engineers, nurses, entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, psychologists, the list goes on. Dare to be different. Really take the lead. Set examples and help others succeed. Be strong. Challenge the norm. And carry on the Jesuit and Mercy traditions that this great institution has taught you. I really challenge you to come back and be active as an alumni. Teach a class. Attend athletic events. Participate in an open house. Mentor a student. Volunteer your time. Even provides financial support. Go to community events like Focus Hope or whatever you choose. But I just encourage you to really get involved. You are an elite member of a network of distinguished graduates. And I want to congratulate all of you on your achievements and look forward to interacting with you and learning about all the great things you're doing. So go out, give back, and vote for my chili in the 2014 Alumni President Chili Cook-Off. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Snyder. President Garibaldi will now present our annual mission award. The Vivere Ex Missione Award is presented to a student graduating from an undergraduate program who has lived the mission of UDM.
Each year, the Vivere Ex Missione Award is presented to a student who best exemplifies the mission of University of Detroit Mercy as expressed in its 4 components: intellectual initiative, social involvement, ethical behavior, and spiritual development. This year's recipient is Chanel Patel from the College of Engineering and Science. Chanel, would you please join me on the podium? Chanel is a true example of living out the mission at UDM. She has demonstrated her intellectual competence through her academic achievements as a biology major and has demonstrated exceptional initiative in her concern for her fellow students. While maintaining excellent grades in her own classes, Chanel has regularly taken time out of her busy schedule to tutor and mentor other students, helping them to not only understand the course material, but also assisting them to connect and transfer related concepts and theories to other classes. Chanel has also been a dynamic leader as the president of the Chaldean American Student Association and co-founder and treasurer of the Pre-Physician Assistant Club. In those 2 positions, she has used her leadership skills to bring solutions to her concern for worldwide social justice, specifically by raising large sums of money through extensive fundraising efforts for healthcare reform abroad, and through her participation in medical relief trips to the Middle East and also the Amazon jungle. Her nominators describe her as one of the most caring, hardworking, and humble individuals you will ever meet, and someone who stands up for those who do not have the courage to stand up for themselves. They also describe her as a woman of tremendous faith, who volunteers at her church and teaches others about the Catholic faith. She encourages others to strengthen their own faith and leads by example, guided by prayer in her relationship with God. Chanel, it is my privilege to present you with the 2013 Vivere Ex Missione Award. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Chanel. Now, please stand and join in singing the UDM Alma Mater. The words can be found in the inside back cover of your program.
Loyal sons and daughters gather, raise your voices strong and true. Sing about poor Alma Mater and her flag red, white, and blue. Alma Mater, you are bent by her tower. Oh, her still with friends. Alma Mater, you are bent by her tower. Oh, her still with friendship born on campus fair. The hallowed charge we do fulfill, leading thee on toward success. Detroit's unyielding constant gem. We pledge our spirits and our hearts, our lifelong fair, dear old UDM.
Please be seated. Thank you, one and all, for attending this event today to honor the class of 2013. We hope you've enjoyed your day at the University of Detroit Mercy. Audience, please remain in your seats until the graduates have left the hall. Graduates, please drop your empty water bottles in containers provided in the back of the arena as you leave the building. New degree holders will be marching out in an orderly fashion by college and school to Sacred Heart Square just west of Callahan Hall. Graduates, please wait for instructions for departure from the marshals. Will the platform party, sponsoring institution representatives, Board of Trustees, administration, the university faculty and librarians, and the class of 2013, please rise and follow the marshal's instructions as we close today's ceremony.